Hello everybody, my name is Dratnos, and with the announcement of patch 9.2's release date, that means it's time for another RaiderIO season recap. So this is the season 2 recap. You can generate one of these for yourself on RaiderIO. I'll put a link in the description below to the place where you can go and do that. And it's pretty cool. They've been doing this now for a while, and this one has some extra cool features. So first off, we've got raid bosses defeated. Here was what my tier looked like. Beat up the Terrorgru quite a bit, although, it's funny. The Terrorgru, it's a boss my raid has been, we did not wipe to this thing on progression, right? Progression on the boss, right? We came in, killed the boss once, didn't wipe to it for months and months. And then just recently, we've wiped to this thing maybe every other week, which is deeply embarrassing, and I don't know how this happened. Then you see we've got a couple of these bosses. There's a notable jump down after Terrorgru. That's because there's the raid skip this tier. So some weeks we would just skip these next few bosses. Some weeks we would, I guess, do first three. And so that's why you see another drop down here for these two. And then what have we got? We've got Painsmith, actually a little bit more Guardian. Yeah, that makes sense. So Painsmith, right? When we did the skip, we would often pick up Guardian because it was on the way. And then Fate Scribe. Fate Scribe, we've killed this boss 14 times. Most of that was in the first 2 months of the patch, right? Progression, right after progression, killing some Fate Scribe, getting our alts together, getting our alts through. Our alts did Fate Scribe once or twice, I think. And then we left Fate Scribe alone for a couple months. We ran it once again a couple months ago to add it to some of our characters' vaults that wanted it. And then actually just recently we've started killing the boss again because, for those of you who don't know, the tank trinket from Fate Scribe, next patch, it's actually getting its functionality changed. So it'll just proc when you die instead of you actually dying and then rezzing yourself with an extra action button, which makes it a whole lot more appealing as a trinket to have for your tanks. So anybody out there who's looking for a good tank trinket, I think the Fate Scribe tank trinket for raid progression next tier is likely to just be best in slot all the way through. Then Kel'Thuzad, jump back up again because you need to kill Kel'Thuzad to get to Sylvanas, where you see I actually have quite a few less Sylvanas kills than Kel'Thuzad. For a couple weeks there, I was freed from tank prison. I was able to DPS, and so I was able to just do Sylvanas. I ended up not needing Sylvanas items, so I got to just sit on that boss and hang out. Play the I got a Peggle add-on. For those of you who don't know, it came out in Wrath, but it still works. Still works on retail. So I was just playing Peggle and listening to my raid do Sylvanas. But recently I've had to start doing that again as I've been returned to tank prison. Okay, so on average, Mythic Raiders defeated 24.4 bosses. Heroic Raiders defeated 39.0 bosses, and Normal Raiders defeated 21.5 bosses. And I've defeated, not that many more normal bosses than the average Normal Raider. This is so strange to me. On average, Mythic Raiders defeated 24.4 bosses. I guess there's got to be a lot of characters that just picked up one Terrorgru kill or one first three kill, or maybe a couple of these first couple bosses on a few weeks, but then didn't go very further because that average seems very low to me for Mythic Raiders. And then, yeah, it's even lower for Normal Raiders. All right, what's up next? Total live tracked pulls for your first boss kill on each difficulty. So this is just how many progression pulls we did on each boss. Yeah, this tier was kind of bricked. There's it's kind of crazy, actually. We spent a lot of time on Soul Render. We spent relatively little time on Painsmith as well. I'm pretty proud of our Painsmith. Our Painsmith was really clean. We figured that boss out quickly. We eliminated it with precision. We actually, on the reclear as well, where a lot of guilds lost some time to Painsmith, we eliminated it as well pretty quickly the following week. So that boss was really good for us. Soul Render was not. Soul Render, a lot of guilds, there's going to be a huge disparity between these because they're going to do Soul Render significantly faster than us, but Painsmith significantly slower than us. Part of that is because we did Soul Render week 1, and it was quite a bit harder then than it became later, but still, we also just, it was such a bad boss for us. But the really bad boss for us this tier was Sylvanas. That boss kicked our butts. So Yeah, rough tier for our heroes, and looks like my closest wipe this tier on progression was actually not to Sylvanas though. It was to Mythic Eye of the Jailer. 0.02. We had a 0.02% wipe to Mythic Eye of the Jailer. You see, we actually have 14 progression pulls on this boss. It did take us a couple hours on that first night. It was not a good time. All right, raid progress duration 23 days to do the Mythic, 4 resets, which is by far the fewest resets it's ever taken us, but it was also a short tier. Most guilds did this raid. Most guilds that do raids in like single digit number of raid resets did this raid in 1 reset less than they usually do, or 2. So yeah, usually we've come in around the 5 reset mark in like Castle Nathria and in Nyalotha, and that was a better result back then than 4 resets was this time. Okay. Oh god, I hate this one so much. Gotta catch them all. Throughout the season, you've grouped with a total of 36 different specs, 36 in raids and 31 in M+. So I played with every single spec in raid. But god, I hate to see. Over the course of this season, I've played 3,014 times with Balance Druids. I hate him so much. Then Holy Paladin. A lot of Holy Paladin. My guild always has like 1 Holy Paladin in, because we've got like a core healing officer, this Holy Paladin, and then also I guess Mythic Plus. Played with quite a few of those. But yeah, I've grouped with every spec this season. I wonder which specs I didn't group with an M+. I actually think it would be like these ones like Survival. I'm pretty sure I've done M+ with these keys. In fact, I've played M+ as some of these. I think I've played M+ as both Survival and Feral during the last season. Actually, I bet we're about to answer that soon. This one, though, is one of my favoritist new charts in here. Gear evolution. So you can actually see which characters of mine were sort of you can see where my mains were over the course of different times. So on progression, I was a fun, happy Guardian Druid. Got all the way up to item level 249. I guess 246, 249 when we killed Sylvanas. And then character didn't really get any more gear. These next 2 weeks, we usually take a week off after we kill the boss. I think we took 2 off this time, though. Then I was on my warrior after that, gearing that up, because I got freed from tank prison, because a tank joined, so I got to go DPS. So I was playing warrior for a while. Demon Hunter actually overtook my warrior in gear somehow, as is my alt here. And then warrior got more geared, but since a couple weeks ago, the other tank that freed me from tank prison quit. So now I'm back in tank prison, but it's probably going to be Paladin that you'll be seeing me on for progression next tier. And here's the biggest gear upgrade of the season. Now this, I don't know how this is calculated, because I think I might have more than 52 item levels on at some point. So I don't know when a character counts as being a character, but for some reason my hunter is, I think, getting counted as a character, which I guess, I mean, it was a character. I did some keys on this season. I think I did like 2 keys on this season, and you can see in one of my weekly boxes, the item level 200 Razorwing Scale grips got turned into the 252 Hikari Revenant's grips. So pretty cool. All right, here we can see the specs that I have played M+ on this season. Arms Warrior, the most run spec, but you can see I didn't really do too much. Didn't really do too much Mythic Plus this season. Played 18 runs of Arms, 18 runs as Guardian. Most of this was heavily concentrated at the start of the patch for gearing purposes. 17 is Havoc, although my Havoc score I think is quite a bit higher than my Arms score. And then 11 is Enhancement Shaman. Still don't have an Enhancement Legendary, but I have done 11 separate runs on that spec, just griefing groups left and right. That's the thing. People in my guild, they've learned to stop typing anyone need a weekly key, because immediately I'll ask about what the rat policy is, and sometimes people say, oh yeah, rats are fine, because they haven't had to play with Dratno Shaman yet. So I've tricked 11 separate groups into that over the course of the season. A couple runs of Destrolock. Destrolock is actually really fun this season. It's going to be even more fun next season. Anybody who's got a Warlock, that's going to be a blast. A couple runs as Frost Mage. Another spec that I don't think I had a legendary for most of these. Feral Druid, actually, it was fairly fun to do these keys as Feral. Then some Prot Warrior, Survival, a couple Vengeance runs, a Prot Pally run, Convoke Druid. Convoke Druid is the name of this spec. Love that. Brewmaster Monk and Windwalker. I wonder, what's this? So I think I was playing Fae as well on that. I wonder if this shows up differently if you were playing Vent there. All right, here are my dungeons that I ran last season. You can see I did one Legion dungeon on live. I did a lot of Legion dungeons on PTR, on Tournament Realm, actually a couple as well. Didn't really end up doing that many on live though. I just did the one Court of Stars. I didn't do any of the grinding for Legion trinkets or anything like that. And then Sanguine Depths, least favorite of the dungeons. Pretty hard dungeon. Doesn't really have any items that you need as well. Actually, it does have a pretty nice Agi trinket, but I think I got one of those on my first run on my Demon Hunter, so didn't really need to go in here. Quite a few runs of Plaguefall. Also need trinket out of there, the Vile trinket, but I got one of those out of my vault pretty quick. And yeah, Mist's most run dungeon. Makes sense. Great dungeon. Oh, you can see the in-time percentage as well for each of these. 100% win rate on Halls of Atonement versus a 71% win rate in Sanguine Depths. So, brutal. Closest key was only 8 seconds this time. If you go back to BFA Season 4, I had a... Not just a 0.1, it was actually 0.001, which is as precise, as many degrees of precision as they get, was how close a key of mine was. In Siege, it was a Siege of Borealis, where I shot the cannon at the last boss, and I missed. And then I shot again and hit and killed it with 0.001 seconds left on the clock. That's a good run. So nothing. This is never going to be an exciting stat for me because of that experience. Nothing's ever gonna top that. At best, it'll equal it. And then my fastest key wasn't even a 3 chest this season. It was a 2 chest. So, how about that? Okay, here's my IO score evolution. Started actually gained a lot of points in the first week. A couple more points in the next couple weeks. 2,000 score. Needed that for power, right? Needed that for Valor upgrades. And then after that, a couple keys here or there. Actually, none of my characters have this much score as well. There's a bunch of different, like random 21, 23, 24 keys on a bunch of random characters, but none of my characters, I think, is above 2.4, 2.2 or something like that. Didn't go for the Tormented Hero title this season, but I think there's a good chance I might for the Encrypted Hero, because that affix looks like a lot of fun, and Tazavesh actually looks pretty sweet, and tier sets look like they're going to be a lot of fun in M+, so you may see a even oranger graph than this for next time. So 98 dungeons across all my characters this season, 2 days, 3 hours, and 48 minutes worth of Mythic Plus. How long it would have taken to watch the entire Lord of the Rings trilogy, the extended edition, obviously, 4.6 times. So not a particular... I would love to see what this says for people like JPC and, all the like super serious M+ grinders, Gingy, right? The people that just did a bunch of keys. I guess a lot of them did Tournament Realm keys, which won't show up in this, but, Andy Brew. Love to see how big this number is. And I wonder if it always gives you Lord of the Rings trilogy, or if you got a different one here. I don't know. Let me know what this says for you, and let me know if there's any interesting revelations in your IO recaps. I think some of these are actually such cool features. This one, as distressing as it was, is a really cool one. But actually, my favorite. I love this gear evolution and the IO evolution pages, which I think are new. I think these are new, although I'm not sure. I know they've been doing a lot of work behind the scenes on coming up with cool new ways of showing this sort of data. So, yep, there was my season 2 recap. Looking forward to season 3, and let me know what yours looked like of these. Again, link in the description below if you'd like to go create yours too. Thanks everybody for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.